Hello, Gelato Familia. Welcome back. This is George, the Disney Italiano. And again, thought, you know what? Let's do another live. I know it was a last minute kind of decision, but that's how I roll. I just think, hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna go live today. Why not? So we have we got Mademoiselle in the house. Welcome in, Mademoiselle. And then we have a stack question from all the way from the UK, Mr. Matthew Murr. His question is, which Disney princess actress do you think is the biggest underdog and is excluded all too often from the spotlight? I'd say either Jennifer Hale as Cinderella or Mandy Moore as Rapunzel. Continuing, since it's all well and good that Jodie Benson, Susan Egan, and Paige O'Hara are present at these events, but I wish those lower key actresses were present more often at big events. And as bullish as that might sound, I really believe some fans may see the absence of some of those actresses as an indicator that some princesses are no longer as important as they once were. I mean, that's interesting. You say that, Matthew, because it's like, in a way, yeah, all the princesses should have their own place in the circle of life in in Disney. But unfortunately, it does seem like that the company kind of showcases some of the princesses, some more over others. Now, when it comes to you say Jennifer Hale and Mandy Moore. Now, as far as their characters go, I feel like Cinderella and Rapunzel are represented a lot, but as far as their voice actress counterparts, I feel like yeah, they don't really utilize them as often, but I don't know if it's just because it's scheduling purposes. I'm not 100% sure. A couple others I would say is Linda Larkin, the voice of Jasmine. I feel like because Lea Salonga does the voice, the singing voice of Jasmine, I feel like there's times Linda Larkin gets a little bit overshadowed with her. The same goes with Ming Na Wen, the speaking voice of Mulan, which I know she has a whole entire fan base. I mean, she's very popular, but when it just comes to the character of Mulan, sometimes she kind of gets overshadowed to utilize her for like appearances and stuff. Also, Pocahontas, both the speaking voice, Irene Bedard, I think, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, and Judy Kuhn, who does the singing voice for Pocahontas. Um, I feel like that, obviously they don't really get a lot of publicity through the company, but it just seems like Pocahontas kind of is not really. I mean, they use her like in the parks, for meet and greets and stuff, but she's not like one of the princesses where they put her like front and center. But yeah, thank you for the question, Matthew. Always great to see you and welcome in. We got my babe Abby in the house. Welcome in, Abby. So glad to see you. Let's see, Dan, welcome in. And we got Giant Peter Adventures. Hello, 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 mix a mix. See, Giant Peter Adventures. I basically left an essay under the Lion King video. Well, I'll have to check that out. I'll definitely read that, Peter, when I get the chance. Hope you enjoyed it, though. And as I said, a courtesy of Jack from DSMY Newscast, does a lot of great content. And as I said, also, a shout out to Noah that wanted me to do a video on the Lion King attraction. So I thought, well, I'll kind of mix it up and do it in the format where I react to, Jack's version on his channel, because he really went like in depth of the details of the layers of the attraction and what we could possibly see scene for scene, But yeah, Peter, I'll definitely check that out for sure. I also released about an hour ago a little short video on the channel. For all of you who didn't check it out, definitely give it a look-see of a little video reaction of it's like a 3D POV ride through of the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, which was courtesy of Mondo from Five Fires that he posted on Twitter. And he gave all the people that actually created that POV, the credit at the end of the video. So definitely check that out. Very interesting of, how the ride through is going to be, because it definitely seems like, and I do mention it on the video, that it's Cosmic Rewind on steroids. But the difference is, it seems like you make a lot of the spinning rotation in the vehicle when the ride is susceptible to those big overbank turns that make you feel like you're going upside down, and you're turning at the same time. So that's definitely gonna hit a lot of G's and pull on the inertia, for sure. But yeah, definitely. See, Mademoiselle says, saw it and looked really intense. Let's see. MIA or Mia is so far winning on X. The poll I put on X. Oh, okay. All right. All righty. Let's see. But yeah, so anyway, so it's definitely, and then it gives like the schematics of everything, of how long, how wide the width of the track is, how fast it's going to go. 78 goes up to 78 miles per hour. So try doing that with everything that was showcased. There's going to be 6 vehicles out on the track at a time. So I think you could fit, what was it, 6 people to a car? So 6 times 6, and then that's how many people that are going to be out on the track at a time. I think it was 6 seats per vehicle. But no, I'm sorry, I take that back, because there's 6 seats to the vehicle, but I think there's like 3 or 4 cars connected. So 6, 12, something or other. I don't know. I have to look at how many cars are actually going to be connected. We got Brian in the house. Hey, Brian, what's up? Let's see. The Fast and Furious ride in California probably makes the Florida people feel ripped off, wondering why they couldn't have got this. Well, I don't know 100% sure, but I think Florida may be getting some kind of rendition to it. I think that's what's going to be replacing Rip Ride Rocket. Jared from Capture the Magic believes that it could possibly be Fast and Furious, just because it's an IP that they already own, and it gives an excuse to get rid of the Supercharged, best ride at Universal. Peter says OG and Wizard Row 1 on opening day. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Probably no. I'll probably be doing that one solo, or probably going on with Tommy Tune, or possibly Conductor. I don't know if he is going to go on and on. Abby said that she was willing to try it once. We'll see. Once she actually takes a look at it while the ride is in motion, she may take a look at that and go, oh, hell no, but we'll see. She's one that always likes to try something, at least one time, if she knows that she can possibly handle it. And then if not, then she's like, okay, that was a one and done for me. Let's see. I did Fast and Furious on my first ride at Orlando. Well, at least you got it out of the way. Let's see. Brian says Tron Ares premieres tonight. Says social media embargo at 12:30 a.m. and review embargo tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. All right, nice. Yeah, we get to go see. We're gonna go see Tron in 3 days, and then we'll do an out of theater reaction. Which, to all of your requests, usually the out of theater reactions are members only videos, but that one in particular we will post for everybody to see. Also, too, we got some more stuff coming on the horizon. We have more cocktail convos, and we also are going to be doing a couple other new things that are exclusive to Holo Gelato, and we're just working on those now, so you'll get to see more of that in the later weeks and months to come. So definitely keeping tabs on Hollow Gelato. Make sure you follow us on social media and follow us on YouTube by liking each video, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Let's see. It might just end up being me, George, Mondo, and Mondo's friend Junior. Yeah, you never know. Probably everyone's going to be kind of, just looking at it saying, yeah, we'll be right here. Sean Narani. Oh, by the way, Sean, welcome in. I forgot because I was reading your comments. I forgot to welcome you in. I know this is not the most exciting news, but they just announced they added Tangle Tower to the Storybook Canal. Here's the thing. Yeah, it may not be the most exciting news, but you know what? It's news. It's more, progress to the fact of that they had the Storybook Land Canal boats down for refurbishment. And rather than just, add the shaded canopy and do maintenance on the ride, they thought, while we have it down, let's add an addition to it. And that makes me feel good because that tells me that ride is, here to stay, especially if they're, upkeeping it and adding new additions to the ride. Where the concept art of where the tower is, it looks like it's right in between, right when you go under the little bridge tunnel. When you come up on the left side, it's Toad Hall, Mr. Toad's house. Little bit before that, right before you go under like the trestle of underneath the bridge, that's where the tower is going to be on the left hand side. So just a little fun fact. That's what it looks like to me with the concept art. Let's see. I can't wait for the music video reactions tomorrow. But I guess you saw the premiere. You got the notification, Peter. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely coming out tomorrow. I think 9 a.m. is the time it's releasing. Let's see. What is your prediction for total worldwide box office for Tron Ares? Ooh, good question. So for me, like when it's out of like theater, when it's done making its run worldwide, see, that's a tough one because this movie can either go really well or be a complete blunder. I don't think there's going to be a middle ground. It did seem like a lot of people are hyping this movie up. I mean, I know like the marketing and promoting of this movie's been really well. I would say I'll say between 500 to 600 million. That's what I'd say. Between 500 to 600 million for Tron Ares worldwide. And we got Kiki and Luca in the house. Welcome in, Kiki and Luca. Always glad to see you. Hollow Gelato. See, they had Emerald City from Oz, the Great and Powerful, as part of Storybook Land Canals in Paris. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Do they still have it there, or did they remove it and put something else there? Let me know, Peter. I'm curious. And Kiki and Lucas says tracking is around 44 million for opening weekend based on the last projection I saw. Okay, so Kiki and Luca, from that, then what would say your final worldwide for Tron Ares when it's done with its run? Because I'm curious to see if it does much better overseas than it does in the States. See, I think Tron is going to do absolute numbers in China. Okay, Peter just kind of answered my question there because of the hype they have for Tron Light Cycle Run. That's a good point. The Emerald City got removed for Paradise Falls. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't think that it would still be there. That would be interesting. And what's funny, too, is Oz the Great and Powerful did decent at the box office, surprisingly, and they never really went anywhere else with it. I think just because, like, it made the money, but, like, the hype afterwards, people just didn't really care. It's like they were curious about the movie, so they went and saw it, and then it was like, okay, nothing special. And Brian says, that's good. I hope you're right. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's my That's my thing on it. I think it's going to be between, yeah, like between 5 to 600 million. I may be highballing it, but to Peter's point, I mean, it very well could do, much better overseas, especially with China. That might pull those numbers in case if it falls a little flat in the domestic numbers. Let's see. Disney was hoping it was going to be the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I don't know if anything could really top Pirates of the Caribbean, because it was made at the time when they did the first one in 2003. It had this edge to it, that it was a live action Disney film based off of a popular Disney theme park attraction. And it crossed that border between what would be for family to like adult. And I actually love that. The first 3 Pirates movies were like banger. Then it started kind of dwindling down with On Stranger Tides, and then Dead Men Tell No Tales was an absolute joke. I don't even, but I mean, they keep on saying that there's going to be, they're fiddling around with a Pirate 6. But again, from what I've heard, that Keira Knightley would not be reprising her role as Elizabeth Swann. I don't know if Orlando Bloom would be on board. Who even knows what's going on with Johnny Depp? And Margot Robbie claims that she would still be part of the project if it moves forward. I don't know if it's going to. I just think there's going to be a lot of stipulation with that movie. And I think, it's already off to a rough start. And if they make it, it's already going to be a hot mess. I would just stop of where it left off. Me personally, I would have stopped on at World's End. That was perfect. That was a perfect trilogy. Just leave it at that. But, they had to say, okay, well, now we're going to make more money, which again, on Stranger Tides, speaking of Tron Ares, I mean, domestically, it did poorly. Not poor, it did okay. But the numbers, overseas brought it to $1 billion movie, and Disney made bank on that. And then they made some bank on the 5th movie, but I think they should just stop while they're still ahead. That's just my opinion. Let's see. I gave it a rewatch. Some of the CGI was bad, but a decent story. You're referring to Oz, the Great and Powerful. I see. Jungle Cruise was the closest. Yeah, I could see that. Like, it had that kind of like, and that's the thing. It's so weird to me that the way technology is today, you would think that the graphics would be so, well-to-do, but there are some older movies that had a little bit more of better graphics than some of the newer stuff now. I feel like that they showcase it a little bit too much, that it makes it known that it's CGI, even though they're trying to mask it. See, the thing is that they could explore so much with that world, whereas Oz was just meant to show how Oscar got to Oz and became the wizard. Very true. Very true. Let's see. I saw you guys saw the Avatar 2 movie in theaters. I also saw it yesterday. I've seen it before, but forgot most of it. Seeing it again, I felt it was really long, but also a good movie. Yeah, I feel like that's why Cameron re-releases these movies before the next one, because they're so far off in between that he likes to give a memory refresher. But I loved Way of Water. I think it was I loved it better than the original. I'm for sure I'm going to love Fire and Ash, and I probably would. I think with each movie that comes out, it'll outdo the last. And speaking of CGI and technology, James Cameron's the king of all that. But even after Fire and Ash, it's going to be another 4 years before we see Avatar 4. And then another 2 years for Avatar 5, because I believe Avatar 4 is slated for 2029, and then Avatar 5 is 2031. Yeah. Let's see. Lucas and Disney. Welcome in, Lucas. So glad to see you. Pirate 6 still needs to happen because of how they teased Davy Jones at the end. That's right. I forgot they teased Davy Jones at the end of Pirates 5. See, I only saw Pirates 5 once. I saw it in theaters and I didn't feel the need to see it again. But that's right. I forgot they teased Davy Jones. I would love to see a Davy Jones origin story, to be honest with you. Or even or just like a continuation of like him, because his character was so complex. I think out of all the characters, I think honestly he was the best villain. As part of the franchise, it. So yeah, I completely forgot about that, Lucas. Let's see. The short scene of Avatar 3 was pretty cool. Great effects. Yeah, that end scene that they teased us at the end of Way of Water. I love how it looks very different than the first two Avatars. Because even though Avatar Way of Water was more so set on the water, and the first one was set more in like the forest and the trees and in the sky and everything, it still kind of gave off that feel of like, okay, you're still on Pandora, where Fire and Ash, obviously you're still on Pandora, but it's like a part of the planet that was never like discovered. It's very dark. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. And Peter, if you're still in the live, I know he's probably going to make a comment on it, but that female villain looks badass. I mean, just from the very little that we got from her, just like the expression and the look on her face, that she poses like a real threat and she's dangerous. Like, I love it. And I love a good female villain. Let's see. Kiki and Luca says, Cameron said he would have to see Avatar 3 box office before production on Avatar 4. He said the VFX is really expensive. He is also planning on doing a movie about the atomic bombing in Japan. That's interesting. Okay, so maybe that's why it's 4 years in between Fire and Ash to Avatar 4 and only 2 years between 4 and 5. Because, so what you're saying, Kiki and Luca, depending on what the box office is for Fire and Ash, then he would start work on Avatar 4 and more so probably Avatar 5. So they would kind of go like hand in hand. So that's why they would only be 2 years apart from them two, but a 4-year gap between Fire and Ash and the fourth Avatar movie. Makes sense. Which I don't really think he has anything to worry about that. This movie is going to do banger numbers. I'm not even going to say $1 billion. I'm actually going to say multi-billion. So I think he's going to pull in another 2 to maybe even 3 billion. I'm still waiting on the very first domestic $1 billion movie. I don't know. I think we're going to get it. One of these days we're going to get it. I just don't know where, when, and what movie it's going to be that's going to crack that code, but we'll see. Who knows? Do you guys think it's Fire and Ash? I think it's more bigger overseas than domestically, though. Even though it is big domestically, I think people just go for the hype of it. But as like a true like Avatar lore fan, they've come very far in between. Let's see. Also, Pirate 6 should be like Return of the Poseidon, since the 5th movie, Jack destroyed Poseidon's trident, which takes him from slumber and decides to drown the world, and Jack goes around to find other sea warlords and fight against Poseidon and the army of underwater. That'd be cool. I like that storyline. Disney, hire Lucas. And Peter continues off of that. Have Poseidon and Davy Jones team up. That'd be a killer dynamic villain duo. Sean Arani says, I think it's smart that they went with red instead of the usual yellow and blue colors. The trailers with the city being attacked with the red vehicles makes it more I can never say that word, omnious than the other colors. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I like that kind of, like where you kind of mix it up a bit. We got Jacob Weller in the house. Welcome in, Jacob. Always glad to see you. I see Kiki and Luca says, there was a Japanese man who was in Hiroshima during the atomic bomb and survived. He then went to Nagasaki and survived the second bomb too. Cameron said it would be a lower budget movie. Well, that's cool that Cameron is doing other projects other than just Avatar. I mean, I know that's his passion, that's his baby, and it takes a lot of work and time. So it takes his time off of other projects. But while he's waiting to see the official numbers for Fire and Ash, then he can work on this to make his final decision with Avatar 4 and 5. Davy Jones was terrifying. Yeah, there was like certain moments where he was like very creepy, like where you just hear, especially when when they're down in the ship and they're playing that game, and Will Turner says, "I challenge Davy Jones," and then it goes all quiet, and you hear the thumping up on deck, and then you hear the creaking of the stairs, like where he comes down and he goes, "I accept." Like just the anticipation of that, where he's coming. See, I think that the ship he sailed on, the Pirates movies, pun intended. I think that ship has sailed. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. Let's see. Did you find out who the actress is? No, actually, I forgot to even check. Hold on, chat. I'm going to do a little bit of a little check here, because when we were coming out of Way of Water and we saw the Fire and Ash little clip, I wanted to see who plays the villain, the female villain, because her voice sounds familiar. Let's see. You know what? I don't even know if... Does anyone even know her name? I think it's probably... Is it Una Chaplin? Varang? Is that the villain? See, also James Cameron is working on Alita 2. Oh, that's cool. Okay. And Peter says Secret Wars. Sorry, not Star Wars. Yeah, I wish a Star Wars movie would be the one to do it, but Secret Wars might be the one to do it. Yeah, it very well could be the $1 billion domestic. Depends on, too, how well Doomsday does, because we all know, again, I'm going to let you all know, Doomsday is going to leave us on a cliffhanger. It's going to lead right into Secret Wars. So, definitely. She seems like a darker version of Neytiri. Yeah, she does. And honestly, when you saw that trailer where her and Neytiri are like it's like a stand down, oh man, I hope they give us a good like female fight. Like, I mean, like a legit female fight, the kind where you're like, you go to like one of those like bars and they have like the mud pit and you just like have two girls just like wrestling in the mud. Like, that's what I want to see on Pandora. Let's see here. Jacob Weller says the villain in Fire and Ash backstory is that Iwe never came to protect her village, and that's why she must eradicate anyone. Okay. Good, strong kind of like arc for her character. See, I don't want Jack Sparrow back other than a cameo. I just feel his story has been told and Pirates needs to move on to another story. I agree with you, Sean. And I think, honestly, that's what hurt Pirates 4 and 5. They had too much of Jack. And I think they just decided to say, hey, his character's popular. Let's run with it. And it almost made his character kind of obnoxious, where I know that is his character to be obnoxious, but it's like when you have like too much of that, it's like it gets overwhelming. At least it balanced out with like the romantic love story between Will and Elizabeth, Let's see. Next thing we know, we are going to meet Phoenician avatars. Disney's going to promote it by saying, go thank the Avatar Phoenicians. They invented it. That was a great one for all you Spaceship Earth fans out there. Like the animatronic in Shanghai must be scary to see in person of Davy Jones. Yeah, that animatronic of his looks like it looks banger. definitely. Like I can't wait to actually like go to the different Disney parks internationally around the world and just like experience like all their different like takes and everything, which I find very interesting because it was Kiki and Luca that actually mentioned it during one of the lives. That what was surprising is that for Tokyo, that a lot of the rides are more calmer and more tamed for like families. Like there's not like a whole lot of there's not like a whole lot of like real big thrills and that kind of stuff. Like there's thrill to them, but like I think they're more like intricate in the storyline and the creativity like behind how things are made for the ride, like the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast, of how like the technology with the animatronics and the set pieces and the storyline and the transformation of the beast. Oh man, I can't wait to experience that. The actress who plays the villain is the granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin. Oh, huh, interesting. So, okay, so Una Chaplin. Okay, wow. Who would have thought going from Charlie Chaplin, who was like a comedic actor in black and white old Hollywood, kind of like vaudeville days, and like, and then here's his here's his granddaughter, playing his badass villain in a James Cameron Avatar movie. Let's see, Kiki and Luca. George, have you considered doing a daily show where you have daily topics with a graphic on the side of the screen, like Beyond Trailer and WDWNT? It's funny you say that, Kiki and Luca. I have been thinking of like many different ways and formats of how I would want to continue things with uh the channel. I think I would like to do that like as time like goes on, because I am going to get like a better setup and a better room and studio and everything. And I think once I get like something better of that, where I could have like a better backdrop and things around me, then yeah, I definitely am considering on taking that kind of style for the in studio stuff, but still do like out on location stuff and doing like theme park vlogs and lives and stuff like that. But great question. Let's see. I always felt it was a mistake to tell Jack's story, that we don't know his past was part of his mystique. It should be someone else's story, and Jack finds himself in the middle, like only Jack can. Yeah, I agree. I think when when they went down that route of having like young Jack Sparrow and how he, yeah, like all that backstory stuff for him. Yeah, I like the mysteriousness of like who his character was. George just painted interesting visions in our heads. The mud. Yep. Let's see. Lucas and Disney says, "What's your opinion on AI? I know OG and others talked about it, but recently Zelda Williams spoke out that people had been harassing her with AI videos and voice clips of Robin to her. Thoughts on AI?" Yeah, I think here's the thing: as technology progresses, obviously we're going to need it. We're going to use it. Especially like with all these movies coming out, um, like with Avatar, and hopefully like with Star Wars and more of Marvel. It works when you have a technology of AI that, again, it's very impressive, but when it's used against somebody in the wrong way, to bully, to harass, to threaten, to use it for your own uh purpose of not doing for good, that's where it becomes very dangerous. And that's where AI like falls in between that center of, you know how can something be good, how can something be bad, but essentially everything gets all twisted and gets used. It's like we ruin it for ourselves. It's almost like part of the human nature and how we operate. And it's just, we just can't have nice things because people don't know how to use it for the good stuff, and rather than utilize it to manipulate people, to antagonize people. It's disgusting. Jacob Weller says, "What's your opinion on?" Let's see. Oh, sorry. What's your opinion on George getting painted blue to go see Avatar 3? Oh. Me getting painted blue to go see Avatar 3. I don't know. What do you guys think? You want me to paint my face blue to go see Avatar Fire and Ash? Of course, I will have to shave all this, which eventually I'm going to shave it anyway, but I'll make sure that I'd have a clean shave. I don't know if people would probably be turning heads thinking that I'm sick. Like I'm really blue. That'd be funny. Oh, this George should watch Ben Stiller in Avatar outfit during the Oscars. I remember that, Lucas. I remember he came out in the full like Avatar like paint and prosthetics and contact lens and everything. Ben Stiller as an Avatar looks scary, by the way. That's scary. You thought Davy Jones was scary, Peter. Ben Stiller as an Avatar is scary. Let's see, a blue Italiano. Let's see. Let's see. Will that be a giant super chat? Blue Italiano. Yeah. Here's the thing, because that's a little bit like, I mean, you guys know me. I'm adventurous to anything. But if someone threw in a decent super chat that you would want me to paint myself blue to go out in public and walk into a movie theater, to go and sit down amongst like a packed theater to go see Fire and Ash, then I would have no choice, because you guys threw in a decent super chat to go do it. So I'll leave that up to you guys. See, to this day, Ben Stiller is one of my favorite comedian actors out there. Oh yeah, Ben Stiller is. I remember the first time I saw Ben Stiller. Actually, it was for. Okay, wait. Let me go back a little bit. I've seen Happy Gilmore, but I was young where I couldn't really like identify like actors at that time, and I think Ben Stiller was, he was like upcoming. And then again, I saw the movie Heavyweights, and again with Ben Stiller, but again I couldn't really like depict him. But when I saw Meet the Parents, I went to go see that in theaters. That's when I knew, okay, who is this guy? This is Ben Stiller. So then I started looking into him when I was doing like research at a young kid. And I'm like, oh, okay, he played in the movie Heavyweights. Okay, he had a cameo in Happy Gilmore. And then, and then moving on, like I loved him in Dodgeball. I loved him in the movie. I know it's kind of like an underrated movie. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Duplex, where he and his wife, played by Drew Barrymore, they were trying to get rid of this elderly woman so they can have the upstairs apartment. Again, I haven't watched that movie in years. I feel like actually watching that because I haven't seen that in years. Let's see. Giant Peter Adventures. Meet the Parents. I'm hyped for the fourth movie. Ariana Grande and the dude who always plays nerds. Yeah, I was shocked that they were going to do another Meet the Parents, but I'm so glad that they got the original cast that are reprising their roles. And Ariana Grande is joining. Like that's I love that. They're doing a fourth one, and I will be going to see that in theaters, because I think the first Meet the Parents was the only one I saw in theaters, and then Meet the Fockers and Little Fockers Meet the Fockers I waited for to get on DVD, and then Little Fockers I watched on streaming. And Lucas and Disney says, I remember Duplex. Yeah, it was, as I said, it was an underrated movie. I mean, it's not the best movie, but it definitely made me laugh. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Jacob Weller says, the Zoom movie with Ben Stiller was great. The Zoom movie. What's the Zoom? I don't know. I don't recall that one. Which one is that? Oh, also I loved him in the Not at the Museum movies too. Let's see. Matthew Murr, all the way from the UK. Thanks for answering my question, George. Let's see. I know I got on my high horse a bit. No, not at all, Matthew. I'm so glad you are able to join the live and you put in your question. And as I said, no question is a bad question. It's bad when you don't ask it. So always ask it. Let's see, Madagascar and Night at the Museum. Oh yeah, I forgot about Madagascar. Yeah, they did because it was Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, Jada Pickett, and David Schwimmer. I loved I think it was the third movie where they join the circus, and I think they're like underneath the like a sewer thing, and and uh the little cute little creature, like they were wondering like what was the sounds that were coming. He's going la 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 la. I don't know why I did that. As you guys see, I don't give a crap. Like that's just me. This is who I am. Oh yeah, Zoolander. How could I forget it? Zoolander. Oh, do you guys also remember? Speaking of Zoolander, do you remember was it Mystery Men with Ben Stiller, Hank Azaria, Paul Rubens? I literally forgot about Mystery Men until Jacob mentioned Zoolander. See, I felt that doing a Night at the Museum ride like Mystic Manor would be a great ride. Absolutely, Sean. Like that is like gold for how big that the franchise was when it first came out, and it's still fan favorites. You can definitely pull off a Night at the Museum ride, Mystic Manor. Honestly, I say do that. Like remove Supercharge and put in like a Mystic Manor type ride, but do it in Night at the Museum. Because here's the also thing too. You can also kind of tie it into where you have Night at the Museum, and if Universal wants to keep the Mummy ride, they kind of go a little bit hand in hand because kind of like with the history and like the ancient Egyptian kind of like connective tissues. You know, that'd be cool. Let's see. I want a fourth My Big Fat Greek Wedding too. Love those movies. I remember my mom watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I watched it with her, and I absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the sequels. I do want to watch them, but the first one, um, I absolutely loved. Like I don't eat meat. That's okay. I make lamb. I love it. Let's see, where am I here? Here we go. Lucas and Disney. Night at the Museum 3 was undercut and short film because of Robin Williams passing. Yeah, I feel like if, you know, it kind of went at a very bad time. I mean, it was a bad time regardless, just the fact that Robin Williams passed away. But for that movie, since he played a significant part in it, that, yeah, they couldn't, you know, obviously finish, you know, anything more that they wanted to do with him in the script. Let's see. That's easily a Hollywood Studios ride. Yeah, because that's right. Because yeah, because thank you. Night at the Museum is now owned by Disney. Okay, so now that they can maybe add that in. Okay, well, Disney already has the kind of technology that they did for Mystic Manor, so throw in Night at the Museum. Let's mix it up a bit. Hollow, hollow. Yeah, and Disney, Lucas and Disney concurs. Night at the Museum ride in Disney Hollywood Studios. Yeah, I keep on forgetting that Night at the Museum falls under the Fox category. See, second one was made by Universal. For Greek Wedding. What was the first one? Who did the first one? Let's see. They need a sequel to Meet the Fockers. Yeah, they do have a sequel after Meet the Fockers, Jacob. It's Little Fockers, and then they're also doing a fourth movie coming out. I forget if it's next year or in 20. Is it next year or 2027? Peter, do you know? Let me know, because I remember seeing like the little teaser that they gave us, but I can't remember if it was for 2026 or 2027. But yeah, let me know. But actually, yeah, Jacob, that was an interesting little suggestion there. Was it Jacob for me to paint myself blue for Avatar? That's funny. Let's see. Where are we here? Brian says, any thoughts on Predator Badlands? I forgot Disney has this coming out in November. Yeah, I did they just release a new trailer today, I think, on Predator? I know the one that I've seen in the theater, it was okay. I mean, I'm not really a big Predator fan. That's just me. Um, the movie looks interesting, but I don't know if it would get me to go to the theater to see it. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Should I go see Predator in theaters? Put it in the comments. And I ask because, again, if I do, then I would be doing an out of theater reaction. So if you guys are members of Holo Gelato and you want to see an out of theater reaction to Predator, let me know. Let's see. Any thoughts on Frankenstein trailer? Is there a Frankenstein trailer? How am I missing all this? Was there a Frankenstein trailer that dropped? I just been so busy lately, with, content and editing and getting things out that I'm like missing some things. But that's why I have you guys. You guys just like throw it out to me. And so it dropped today. Okay. Let's see here. You know what? I wonder if I could hold on one sec, guys. I want to see something here. Hold on one second. No promises, but let's see if I can get this up. Then we'll watch it together. How about that? Let's see. Let's see. What when was the trailer released? So I'm like looking here and I'm not seeing. Is it the Del Toro trailer it will be premiering on Netflix? Let me know in the comments. Let's see. Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 was about the dad realizing his marriage certificate was never signed and he needs to get remarried. In the third one, they go to Greece to honor the dad. Cool. So, Peter, what would you like to see if they were to do a number 4, like to see the storyline continuing on? What would you like to see? So there's that question, and then the question is it the Del Toro trailer that's premiered like 5 days ago? It's going on Netflix. Is that the Frankenstein trailer? Just want to make sure. If it is, that got 7.7 million views. Yep. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do, let me see here. What am I going to do? Okay, set that up there. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen because I have not seen this yet. So since I haven't seen it and you guys are catching me up on all this stuff, we're going to watch this together. How about that? So let's see.
America told his tale. And I will tell you mine. I remember pieces. Memories. of different men. And I saw it. Your name. Victor Frankenstein. My creator. I demand a single grace from you. If you are not to award me love, then I will indulge in rage. Now, run.
All right. Okay, I absolutely that looks very interesting. um because obviously it's not like the typical, Frankenstein movie, and that's what a lot of people get a common misconception, that when they say Frankenstein, they think Frankenstein is the monster. No, Frankenstein is the mad doctor, the mad professor who created the monster of Frankenstein. So I love how this is a completely different kind of twist on the storyline. And Del Toro, I mean, I love his work. I think he did phenomenal with Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water, and even his own rendition of Pinocchio was much better, honestly, than Disney's live action Pinocchio. And I think you guys, know that. But yeah, of course, the as Peter's the creature. Let's see. I am interested in Predator Badlands because of the trailers, and especially because Prey was so good and it's done by the same director. Okay, well, how about oh yeah, and then Peter says I remember the Disney Pinocchio live action. Yeah, I think we all do, but for the wrong reasons. Okay, so what if, let me see, I'm gonna go out of here now. Let me see, because you guys mentioned about Predator Badlands trailer. So I guess it's the final trailer. It was released 7 hours ago. So let's see here. Hold on one second. Share my screen again. All right.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe, where everything is trying to kill you. I need a hand. You're here to prove yourself. Hunting something that can't be killed. We might not be alone in this hunt.
Yaslan Zorbici. Det Jediolaichish.
Okay, so now I have to actually say I might go back on what I just got done saying after seeing that trailer. Now that trailer looks like it caught my attention more than the ones that I've been seeing in theaters, because I guess they wanted to show a little bit more, being that it was like the final trailer. So yeah, actually I may go see that in theaters. It looks interesting. I see Mademoiselle says The Shape of Water was so weird. Yeah, it was weird. I think Del Toro is just that kind of person, the way he like does the storytelling with his films. So yeah. Let's see. The donkey scene actually made people theorize that Donkey from Shrek was once human, and is why he is good friends with Pinocchio in the film. Oh yeah, like he was Lampwick. Very true. Well, guys, we are coming up on the hour mark. I want to thank everyone for joining me on this Holo Gelato Live. We dived into a lot of different stuff, not even just Disney and Universal, but we even went into some movie stuff as well, whether it was like through Fox or 20th Century and even outside of like the companies that we usually talk about. I love that kind of stuff. I love diving into, like we were talking about, like My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Night at the Museum and Ben Stiller and all that good stuff. I love like going into many different topics, because that's what we do here on Holo Gelato. It's a mix and blend of everything, and we can just discuss everything. It's holo, but in any case, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. It's always a pleasure having you guys on. And I also wasn't expecting on watching and kind of reacting to two trailers that I never thought I'd be watching with you guys together on Holo Gelato Live. So thank you for bringing them to my attention. And again, it helps with great content that, we get to do it together. We watch the trailers, and, you guys get my first thought process on that. And Jacob Weller says, have a good one, George. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Absolutely. So yeah, again, I want to thank you all for joining, and Abby, thanks everyone as well. And I'm George, the Disney Italiano. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano out.